Right, we discussed about the contemporary issues in environmental science. Right, we should discuss about the food production. Food, basic need of all human beings. Food is the source of all human beings for nutrition, and it is the objective of. After going this unit, these are the objectives, introduction, factors affecting food production. Food is the problems and developing countries. Population explosion and declining death rate, available of geographical area, population and food supply, food production and demand versus supply, trends and problems in agriculture, food production and programs, actions of government to improve productions, public distribution systems in India. Next, policy and development of agriculture, summary check, progress and models of awareness, answers and model examination questions, objectives. After going this unit, we will be able to recognize the various factors responsible for the food production. Understand the trends of problems in increased food production, explain the need of availability, alternative food resources, discuss about the economics of getting healthy diet for common man, describe future plan of actions. What is should actions? What should be actions? Introductions. Agriculture is the dominant of Indian economy, contributing nearly 36.86 percentage of the national income, providing employment to the 70% of working populations. Means all the populations in mostly based upon agriculture, we used to depends on the agriculture. We used to depend on the 36.86 percentage of all population depends on agriculture. Next, 70% of working populations in crop production is it is necessary to maintain commonly continuously high rates of growth yields as well as required achieving the supply of all these productions remain necessary for the high rates of growth and yields as the crop productions necessary maintain the growth of health as well as achieve the supply of demands and growing population by the AD. For this purpose, agriculture have been diversified available geographical surface of the area. Means world they depend on agriculture's means agriculture is the main sources of the Indian economy. 'Agriculture achieved the demand of balanced growing population by the 2000 AD. For this purpose, agriculture policies have to be diversified. Available geographical area has been increased. Now we should some of things we should means agriculture products of means Indian point of view 36 point of 36 point of view time it will be 36 point of 86 will mainly depends on agriculture background. Meaning of agriculture point of view, 36.86 percentage. It is mainly depends on agriculture background of means it's of Tundra purpose of factors affecting the food productions. Mainly different factors are affecting for food productions. and factors affecting. These are the things we should mainly depends on food productions. We'll share with some of the things we'll write on the board of uh, sharing of screen also. We should know that means in the 2000 decades of India population in 70% of working populations in the 36.86 percentage they are working upward towards the environment means factors affecting different factors. These are the factors affecting food productions. Food production has been monsoon explain various output of various little role and played various policy variables among the weathers, rainfall, humidity. At this various crop growth have been significant impact. One of things we should significant of effect on the things humidity and also role of chemical fertilizers. We know that fertilizers are we are using chemical fertilizers like synthetic fertilizer, chemical fertilizers, productivity hardly needs to be, whereas compared to organic chemical fertilizers, all it is harmful to the environment. Optimal allocation of fertilizers to crops and regions and another important factor for food production and increasing of fertilizers output has been depends on farmers. Government have been responsibility. These are the two factors are affecting on agriculture, affecting on the food and of agriculture. Next, food problems of development of countries. Food problems in developing countries under different, they are population explosion. One is the criteria. The explosion of population, decline in death rate, availability of geographical area, population and food supply, food production and demand versus supply. Right, these are the things are seriously explained about their food production and effects of explosions and growth rate and problems of explosions. World demand population explosion, various things. It is the increasing of populations. Population now serious attention to many people. There is a concern among the scientists for very survival of human species. If population continues to grow at this present rate, increasing of continuously at the carrying capacity is 5,600 million people. Accepted clear world is not too far the red alert. Three, fourth, 5,400 million short peoples of population sharply increased in independence. 97 population 18.7 million rate of growth has been increased to 10.31 percentage when compared to 19. The increasing population 19 by 18 months census to 683.4 million trillions population of India growth rate in 1971. There is an increasing of population. Such are the things we wish to increasing of populations. Now will population will be increases now comparatively. Right, decline in death rate, population balance in birth and death and migration. There is a decline in death rate, 1941 to 21.4 per thousand, 9 to 14.8 per thousand, 1981. 1941 it is 22.4. Now it will be 1981 it is 1941 it is 1941 it is 22.4 per thousand. Now it is 14 point means 14 point per thousand, 1981 census. There is a decline of death rate because of death rate 22.14 it is 14.86. There is a decline in death rate among this. Every year it will be declining of death rate. We should observe that. Next, declining of death rate tremendous of growth population. It is every year our population. Next, population increases, increasing pressures on agriculture production, decreasing per capita available to both income and food. Next, income and food. Based on income and food, two factors. It is a very duty citizens is respective of caste and creed, region, small family, and also same time hard increasing the food production for the nations. Check your progress with the carrying capacity of people. Next, available geographical area 42 percentage of above the 42 millions of hectares of cultivation. Every hectare supports 4.6 people who have make the living same land for increasing in spite around 2.5% of increasing production of the there was a 0.2% increasing per capita 42% for 50 million hectares under the cultivations million hectares for cultivation under cultivation under cultivations now it will be there will be the hectare supports 4.6 next it will be 4.6 percentage for persons per person, not percentage. It is persons. It will land increasing up to 2 point percentage per productions in spite around the 4.6%. Now it will be 4.2 percentage. Which now increasing for production. It is 2.7 percentage. 2.7 percentage for increasing productions. Increasing productions. There is a 0.2% for level of availability, production and consumption. The per capita share land and food grains of 90% of, but it shares total part in terms of value, it will be shared upon their land of grains of 90 percentage of total output. It is 70 percentage of food grain crops occupy only 10 percentage. Crops occupies 10 percentage contribute 30 percentage of output. 30 percentage of output. Now it will be uh, now it will be 30 percentage of output. 10 percentage. Now it will be 30 percentage of output. We'll discuss about their something. We'll call upon their discussion point of view also. There's a lot of availability of geographical area, population of food supply, consisting of food populations, 40% of population 14 years and 6 percentage of above 6 percentage of 14 years population will be 40 percentage of population below 14 years. 14 years. Next 6 percentage behind 60 percentage. 6%, not 6 percentage. 6 percentage behind it is 60% years, 60 years. Next, also the largely non-productive, according to 1971 census, 126 billions of agriculture work making to 22.8 percentage of total population to have give us to food. These are the things of non-productivity point of view. These are the things census of according to population trends reveal that only 1/3 of population is working toward third of the food, and this is that other factors low per capita productions, food production and demand versus supply. Now it will be demand versus food productions. Food productions and demand versus supply. Importance of agriculture economy generally 150 years of First World War. You know that during this period, mankind was mainly involved in exploiting incredible richness of Industrial Revolution. However, the underlying malnutrition was percentage of purest sections of industrial agriculture communities world, but the privilege of clear sight was and now it will be declining further realization, extents and security and feeding among the cited economic scales. The world wars interface first with the food production and gradually affected with the community's importance relations among the agriculture and population. During the years 1965 to 66, national food productions NPF, national food production NFP is declined is to 16.7 percentage due to severe drought. 19 peak of 1973, 72, 3.1 percentage, 1974, 75. Adverse effects of occurred failure of crops, large parts of Europe, Russia, resultant global security food grains. In this 78, there was a global improvement food production. Total output is 1981 to 81. 175 millions of period during the growth rate and production food grains of decelerated 2.93 percentage of during the period 1949 to 50 and to 1960 to 65. 2.74 percentage of during this percentage 1967 to 68 to 1985 to The non-food grains of 3.54 percentage of 2.55 percentage of all crops declined 3.3 percentage of to 2.68 percentage. There is decline in NFF national food productions of national food production declined in 1965 to 62. Why? What is the reasons? There is a food grain production and population increases. Availability of encouraging the 10 food grains productions, and there is a few fluctuations. Per capita productions show decline different years of compared time. In terms of capacity for availability, 323 yen capita per day, which was less than requirement, and 460 to 560 per day ICMR rules. This is medical research. It is ICMR research in per capita. It will be 323 to 460 grams to 500 per day. About the 500 gram per day per capita ICMR's calculations, it will be required. There is a lot of the decline of food resources. Every person they won't take proper diet. Have prices have increased. Absolute terms and relations to per capita income. Some major steps obviously needed included increase better storage facilities, same time cutting down our production cost, helping the farming to different means, trends and problems in agriculture and food productions. Objectives of agriculture planning in India is to attain the self-sufficiency, especially food grain production. Food has been maintained a satisfactory tempo of growth. Success has been more striking in case of wheat and some extent rice, coarse of grains, pulses, oil seeds, other food continue to problem areas of our agriculture thanks to our green revolutions. Uh, Things we should know about the things and everything. Discuss about the trends and problem agricultures will continue problem areas of agriculture thanks to our increase in their productions and food grains more than twice. Next point of view, trends and problems, agriculture production sufficiency in food productions. Right, trends and problems and past plans and achievements and programs and actions of the government improve the four ways to food supply. The world would could increase. There is enormous areas land which has not food production for the rough grazing and shifting cultivation. There is millions of acres of deserts and semi-desert jungles and have been produced. Different areas of Israel have been given world striking examples of land creating potentially good under cultivations. Second way is nutrient sources of food and synthetic, which could be used food and large scale of methods of chemical engineering. A major development have been new high yielding seeds. Secondly, construction of new dams and new irrigation techniques. Point of view, new dams and irrigation techniques, new irrigation techniques also used for their increasing of production. Third improvement is farming rotation of cropping patterns and proper and ultimately using use of fertilizer, chemical, organic, microbial, earthworms and culturing and pesticides and use of weeds and weeders and pressures, minerals, food problems. It is irrigation point of view. There is a food problems is aggravated loss of after the harvesting. Estimating loss vary from 15 to 40% of there is urgent need to the ensure that proper storage and handling food grains loss and because of rodent insect weather conditions. Alternative of food sources. Food sources means new sources of insects, marine invertebrates, and fungi have been made use for their food. Exotoxic foods and variety of pleasures, necessity of eating in some communities, certain countries, some common foods are have pleasures as well as nutrients. Stands and needed a little else maize, grasshoppers, and may supply of needed amino acid, small body Lysine specific at all improve the calcium intake, catching of eating small fishes, abounds in pools, and similarly West Africa depend on cassava will derive nutritional benefits and catching and eating monkeys nutritionally carry diet service under developed areas must always make the note the sources of nutrients. New sources of food. The man is the longer limited choice of conventional foods than the man is good depends on foods and growing populations in vast in plankton, the surface waters, water inhabited enormous minutes, microscopic and crustaceans and coleonterates and the planktons with good things sort of fuel and shin as a taste chlorella usually micellar algae come up mainly ponds like green plants that grow the photosynthesis take carbohydrates and proteins and simple elements of carbon dioxide and water inorganic nitrogen essential nutrients could be absent using atomic energy to promote the photosynthesis. Certain types of algae, such blue-green algae, and consumed traditionally Japan and India. Food facilities operating the principle would make them less dependent for their nutritional needs and regardless of the climate and farmers. Green leaves and leaf proteins concentrates. These have been more efficient means of making sunlight produces maximum amount of organic matter given area for variable land, fresh young and grass, certain protein traditional cow eats grass turn into milk and but cow eating. Nutrition in this respect, 3 by 4 of protein last human use leaf vegetable cultivation per acre leaf protein concentration have been prepared advocated by the CFTRI. Proteins from petroleum trenches. Scientists have been possible to yeast using petroleum oils as measurements have been made all over to get the proteins from petroleum. These proteins are reported to carbons which have been handed on mushrooms. Is nowadays growing interest cultivation of these mushroom, especially South India. A valuable addition food diet grown indoors commonly cultivated mushrooms and their possible distribution systems and policy that agriculture. So summarize the lesson from policy development. There is a nutrition point of view. When nutrition means food, nutrition is classification of food and going this in it, you will able to define food and nutrition and health, list out all different functions of food in badly explained the daily requirement, different food maintain health, describe the effects of food, health describe the effects of malnutrition, health status of man, and suggest remedial measures. Role of government. Good nutrition is an indispensable component of healthy life. Common denominators of health and growth, mind and body. Malnutrition is a spread in India based on the studies under National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau and also major nutritional deficiency. This is identified as protein, energy, malnutrition, vitamin A deficiency, anemia, endemic coitus, Laterism and endemic fibrosis, fluorosis have been also identified in significant parts of the country. Nutritional deficiency is also problem in confronting growing population, food habit, and some traditional benefits of things. Mainly point of view, nutrition is means balanced. We need balanced diet alternation of adaptation of food. It society alternates of not deteriorate food quality of food and lead to deteriorates effects. Food nutrition, health and classification of food. Food is defined as substances edible human without causing any toxicity, poisonous to physical systems. Nutrition is the defined food digested, absorbed in bloodstream, and perform the functions of at least the functions of energy yielding and body building and repair, protect from diseases. Good health and defined as their state of well-being, active productive life, cornerstones for good health of good nutrition. In other words, the food we eat makes we are the word nutrition, nutritional status of describe the bodily condition state. One way to judge that good nutritional status of in judging outward signs and listed below: body well developed, correct weight and height and age, muscles well developed and firm, and skin smooth and clear, slightly moist, hair smooth and glossy, eyes moist and clear and dark circles, and the facial expression altered but without strain, head direct and good natures and full of vibrant, sweet sound, digestion, elimination, good energy yielding food. This is the good includes food rich carbohydrate, also few fats. Carbohydrates is a class of energy yielding substances which include the starch, glucose, cane sugar, sugar cane foods and roots and tubers largely composed of starch and carbohydrates. Food ingredients like simple sugars, namely cane sugars, glucose, pure carbohydrates. Starch is a complex carbohydrate made up of glucose units and glucose derived from the starch. Other sugars. Diet is the main source of energy in the body. Carbohydrate derived from the cells from the chief source of energy in an Indian diet. Starches when enter cooked in completely digested gastrointestinal tract released when glucose is observed metabolized in body and to yield energy. Pure fats. Fats is the important component of diet serves functions in the body. Fats is concentrated source of energy supplies unit weight more than twice the energy furnished by either protein or carbohydrate. Body building of foods. Food rich in proteins called as a body building of foods. Growth, repair functions of it differentiated in living non-living food is the growth, repair, and tissues. Proteins are required. Proteins are the vital to living organisms. They are important component of cells, muscles, and tissues. Other chemical components. Human body is made up of chemical components of food. Wheat composed of chemical components, carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water, and not exactly a nutrient. Nutritional is classification of foods. Nine food group plan. A food guide is useful for the promoting good nutrition and better health. Daily food guide is designed to provide a flexible and framework of foundation for making food to meet their nutrient specified recommended dietary allowance. It is intended to be easy to use and easy. Foods have been divided into groups and similar food consumption and same functions in the body. Nutritional classifications food food nine food grade of food energy yielding food cereal rice wheat and ragi bajra jowar maize supplies more than 70% of calories, 50 percentage of B vitamins, 50 percentage of calcium, group 2 roots and tubers. Roots sources of starch, four sources of vitamin C, with carbo and sugar, very rich sources of carbohydrate, oils and fats, essential fatty acid, vitamin A and vitamin A. Group 5 milk and milk products, fresh foods, proteins and moderate nutritive values, vitamins and minerals, pulses, nuts, oil, seeds and proteins and moderate. And group 4 milk and liver eggs and group 8 green leafy vegetables, protein, vitamin A and calcium, fossil vitamin B12 and vitamin C and 9 fruits and vegetable fat and food source of vitamin C, balanced diet. That is a judicious mix of all essential nutrients like proteins, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, vitamins, and waters. made by our body. Healthy full diet should first of all related diseases. Secondly, it should be minimize the risk of diseases associated with our consumptions. An ideal diet can't be defined. The concept of healthful diet simple fasting infants and children food habitat and food plants and facilities knowledge regarding the food habitats main provided by the discipline of social scientist and anthropologist and sociologist, psychologist, cultural geographic have been concerned man, culture, social activities, food habits. This include among the occasional economic levels and community availability, cost of foods and social and cultural practices. Once the food habits are established, they handed down generation to generation and following aspects of major concept geographic and religious traditional beliefs and food fads and curses changing food habits. Early man water the food could get to satisfy his hunger, soil and climate and local agriculture practices determined food to green in the locality right to the main food crop tropical countries and rainfall is high water while millets is cultivated in areas of low rainfall wheat is the mainly cultivated temperature regions. Religious the world had been influenced food habits from the Muslims forbidden eating pork, Hindus eating beef. Traditional belief food habits can still prevent the large majority of population illiterate, ignorant, and regarding the nutritive values. This beliefs influenced profoundly patterns of food eaten and South Pacific islands and belief that a certain shellfish and eaten during the pregnancy will cause the child to burn off with the scales of its head. In India, consumption of papaya fruit to pregnant women is believed lead to abortions, and consumption of garlic will increasing believed lead to milk production. Some parts of India, it is believed consumption of milk fish with tail will lead to the development of leprosy, leukoderma, hot and cold foods. The foods are classified hot and cold, differentiating many countries, and hot foods are believed to produce more heat and body and lead boils and meat and legumes mix and fine. Food of the diet foods habitat pizza and habit of eating that and kind of with the things we should discuss in details of the pizza. Eating that clay and cork, limestone and plaster ashes and various things are discussed. These are the things are discussing about their food and nutrition values and different countries are depending upon their nutrition values. World has scarcity of food and now we improve that scarcity. We should give all balanced diet and we should discuss about the things. That's the things we'll finish off. Next class we'll discuss about the things. Thank you so much. In next class we'll catch you up.